Thursday morning, Thursday after surgery. Um, don't have such good news. Didn't want to make this video yesterday since obviously I was exhausted and I just didn't have the energy. I just got done reading all of your guys' comments on my last video that I made right after I came back from surgery. Now, before I get into the news, I want to just make a few things clear, which is really important for me to nuance. When I get out of surgery, I tend to usually have an enormous jolt of adrenaline. I'm just always building up to the surgery, like the moment that I know I'm going in, till me actually going under. I just mentally start focusing in on mentally preparing for that surgery, and it's just like the only thing on my mind. So the second that I wake up and I realize I'm still alive and everything went well, I just get this like jolt of adrenaline and joy, and I just don't feel any pain or nothing in that moment. And that is what you saw yesterday. That is me literally less than 30 minutes after waking up from surgery. The reason I'm saying this is because I do not want people to get the misconception that that's how I'm always feeling for the entire duration post-surgery, or that is how you're supposed to act and feel post-surgery. The last thing I want to do on this channel is put out an incorrect message and unrealistic expectations. So my point being, if you have undergone surgery and you wake up feeling like utter shit and you can't even talk or can't even muster up the energy to sit up straight, that is absolutely normal. Like, I'm just a little bit of a psycho when it comes to this. I always look at surgeries as a fight, as me going to war. So the minute I wake up from it, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I did it. But then like right after I made that video, for another 20 minutes, I'm flying high, and then I just crashed. So the whole rest of yesterday, I was just resting and being in pain and fatigued and. So I just want to put that out there, that you don't start thinking that this is how you should feel, right? Or that this is how I always feel. And that's also why I couldn't make this video yesterday. So before I go on, let me set the table so you guys can follow exactly what I'm saying. So I've been working with my jaw surgeon for the past, I want to say 4 years. So this is the guy that literally rearranges everything on the inside and outside. He put this new jaw on me, which is my left oblique muscle. So this is not a plastic surgeon. This is literally a guy that'll cut out a muscle from your body and basically paste it in somewhere else. Like, this is hardcore stuff. This is not the guy that is doing super fine, like micro type of surgery. Like, this is more like a butcher. And I'm saying it in a very disrespectful way. Obviously, he is the top of his class surgeon. He's not a butcher, but I'm just trying to create an analogy for you guys. So that's my jaw surgeon. He's not a plastic surgeon. He's the one that told me, like, the only thing that I can still do for you is take the back of your shoulder and use that to just put on a whole new piece. But he also, and I have to be clear on this, he also recommended against it. He was just telling me what he could do. So he then proceeded to tell me to go and work with the plastic surgeon that operated on me yesterday, right? So it's not a case of me leaving one surgeon like, fuck this and going to no, like, we're working on this together, and that guy, my jaw surgeon, saved my life. Like, he's the best. So he also has been on the inside of my face and mouth, many, many times. So he knows exactly what he's dealing with and how bad my situation is. And he's always brought up the fact that there's just an immense amount of scar tissue on the inside, which makes it so hard to work with. So when he redirected me to this new plastic surgeon and I went to talk with her, like I said in my other videos, her view on it was quite optimistic, partially due to the fact that she had never operated on me before and this was her first time dealing with me. So she had no way of knowing entirely what she was dealing with yet, which is normal, of course. So she was like, look, we're first gonna break up the scar, break up the scar tissue to repair it, and then 3 months later do the lipo filling. And I think we can do a lot of great things with and for you. So it was quite an optimistic vibe. So then yesterday, after surgery and after I made that video of me saying guys, I made it, I just came out of surgery. A couple of hours later, she came to the room to tell me how the surgery had gone and to basically give me the technical details. And that's where, unfortunately, the bad news came in. So she told me, she started off by saying, the surgery went relatively well, nothing bad happened, nothing went wrong. But unfortunately, we were able to do less than we anticipated. Because the moment that we started performing surgery, and as I said in the last video, the main area that we were focusing on was right here, the front of the chin. She said, as soon as we got started, we immediately were faced with the fact that we were dealing with an immense amount of scar tissue in this area that also also goes really deep. So it's not just surface level scar tissue, it goes in depth, like we're talking with deep southern scar tissue. And she said we couldn't really work on that area because there's just too much of it, and if we would try and break that up, it would negatively rearrange the entire aesthetic outlook of your bottom lip, probably causing it to start pulling more inwards and downwards, like dethorning my mouth, which is absolutely the last thing I would want. So what they did was they focused on the areas here and here as well as they could. So they worked on all of the scar tissue here is more surface level, it's not that deep. So they worked on that and they worked on this. And she did say we were able to make some progress there, she believes, and we definitely got some, we gained some terrain, we gained some ground, and we were able to break it up into a Z shape, like I explained in the last video. So it definitely was not for nothing. We were able to make progress here, but of course, the whole idea was to make the most, progress in the front, but we couldn't even get started there. And then right after that, she also said now we're gonna have to wait 3 months. We will not know the final outcome of this surgery for another 3 months. That's when all the scars will have settled. But I need you to understand that chances of you being able to actually get lipofilling done has definitely become a lot more slim. So, she basically told me not to hope for too much anymore, not to put nothing in the hopes up anymore. She said, let's see in 3 months. There's always things we can do. We can talk about everything, but it's more than likely that lipofilling and the stem cells that I was looking forward to so much is not going to happen. So that basically makes this entire thing, I'm not going to say it definitely doesn't make it useless but that was like the whole goal for me, is to get those stem cells in there. Stem cells are just, that's top of the line. Like that's the type of cell that can come in and really drastically improve, everything. Stem cells are incredibly powerful. The state-of-the-art medical science. It comes in, heals tissue, regenerates this tissue, rejuvenates tissue. Like that's really what I was hoping for so bad. So hearing that probably is not going to happen really hit me hard. I'm not going to lie. So yeah, that's it. And she also explained once again, like the whole issue with scar tissue is that scar tissue is created when you cut, but then when you try to, work around it or make it better, by cutting, you're once again creating even more scar tissue. And I've been operated on more than 30 times at this point. Like I lost count. I've been getting operated on since 2012. That's almost 10 years. That's a decade of being cut open and scar tissue just growing on scar tissue. So yeah, that's it. I took some time yesterday to reflect on that news, and I try to always practice what I preach. So I asked myself, is there anything that I can change about this situation? Will worrying or thinking about it have any effect? Obviously, the answer is no. So I basically immediately decided to move on, understand that as long as I know that I'm trying my hardest to better my situation, that is my sole responsibility. The outcome is not in my hands. All I can do is try and make an effort every single day to better myself, to better my situation, and to keep fighting. And maybe, maybe I'm tripping, but I feel like maybe it's not even meant, all these surgeries are not even meant to make my face aesthetically more pleasing. But if I read your guys' comments, if I see people telling me, you're the reason that I fight every day, you're giving me hope, you motivate me to keep pushing. Like, I see so many people that I'm touching with these videos and with just my experience that, like, maybe that's it. And who am I to complain, who am I to complain if that is the outcome? If by going through these surgeries, I'm able to reach hundreds of people across the world and help them do better in their fight and educate them on the possibilities in terms of like facial surgery and whatnot, then what greater return of investment could I ask for? So plenty of positive things to focus on, and that's it. That's what we're gonna keep on doing. We're gonna keep on fighting. Lord knows what technology has in store for me. Maybe in 15 years I'll get a bionic jaw, look like a superhero, get some titanium gold teeth. Who knows, man? Like, I'm gonna look back on these videos and smile. So take the good with the bad, guys. Always take the good with the bad. We're still going, still fighting. 10 years in the making, and we're still here. And we ain't going anywhere. We're gonna keep pushing. And that's it. That's really it. As long as we keep trying, we keep pushing, the journey truly is the destination. So remember that. I'm no better than you. I'm no different than you. If I can do it, so can you. So take the good with the bad. Bad news comes, you take it on the chin. Take it on the chin. No pun intended. And that's it. Thank you once again for riding with me, man. Like, reading your comments from my hospital bed, I cannot express in words how much you guys mean to me. All right, the marathon continues. Wounded Viking, checking out.